A new Wuthering Heights trailer has dropped. I know. I wasn't expecting it either. I had a whole other video planned for this week. But what do? When Emerald Fennel drops a brand new Wuthering Heights trailer? We run. We run. So I'm going to react to the trailer, the second trailer, the newest trailer, what they are calling the official trailer. I believe the previous one was a teaser. I don't remember whether it said teaser in the title when we watched it, but this one is apparently the official trailer. So we're going to watch it and we're going to see what we think. I'm wearing my microphone today because it is appalling is the weather. And when I say it's appalling, there is literally like rain lashing at my window. So I'm hoping you can't hear it because I've got my mic on, but if you can hear any water sounds in the background, maybe it'll add to the ambience. It's also very gloomy, which is why I've got lots of little lamps on, so it's quite cosy. I feel like we're in a good spot to actually watch this. You know, it feels quite, I feel like I'm up on the moors in the rain and the gothic kind of autumnal weather, so maybe it's perfect timing. But we are going to watch it together and then we will talk about it afterwards. So let's just jump in. I have not seen any of this. The only thing I saw was a couple of seconds as I was downloading the video, which is the opening. It'll be on screen now, so you'll be able to see it, this opening with the logos in the background. Now I'm looking at those rocks and I'm thinking, they look similar to the rocks that Keira Knightley stood on in Pride and Prejudice. I don't think they are. There are lots of rock formations like this in North Yorkshire and in Yorkshire in general. But I'm a bit like, that looks very similar, but I don't think it is. So that's all I've seen. Let's get straight in to watching it.
What should you do, Heathcliff? If you were rich?
I suppose and do what all rich men do. Live in a big house. And be cruel to my servants. Take a wife.
A wife? What wife?
Heathcliff. You're not enough. Not for her.
Stirling asked me to marry him. Heathcliff is gone. You must accept it. Why did you leave me?
Why did you betray your own heart?
Where is the obstacle? Whatever our souls are made of is mine not the same.
I will not stand for that fiend. I will not have you near her. Did you think it would stop me? So kiss me. And let us both be damned.
Okay. I have a lot of thoughts. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. First of all, what was the Cathy? That bit actually made me laugh out loud because it's not bad. It's not the worst Yorkshire accent I've ever heard. I feel like what they probably will have done is pick the best bits to go in the trailer. It wavered between Lancashire to Yorkshire quite a lot, but I suppose you could argue it's kind... No, it's not, is it? I was going to say it's kind of on the border between Yorkshire and Lancashire. He's Australian. What can I say? Both he and Margot... No. Is Jacob Elordie Australian? Yeah, he's Australian. You know, Jacob Robbie. Jacob Elordie and Margot Robbie are both Australian. So I mean, they get the clipped bit, and I think doing an English accent is slightly easier for them because they're Australian, but still, doing a Yorkshire accent is very difficult. Being from West Yorkshire, I live very close to Haworth. I've got probably a very, very similar accent to what is being portrayed, what the Brontes would have spoken. And so I'm going to be ultra critical, but that Kathy moment just made me laugh. It just really made me laugh. So yeah, there's a lot of Yorkshire accent that we can decode. There's actually a lot more of the story and the book in there than there was in the teaser trailer, and I feel like this is such clever marketing on the part of Emerald Fennel's team. Whoever her production, I don't really know how it works in terms of like how a production company will market with, like, say, maybe a marketing agency to promote the film. I assume she's been heavily involved in the way that the trailers have been edited and the way that they've been put out, the way that they are portraying the film. And the first one, I think, was intentional to rile people up. I think she wanted to get people talking. If she'd have made a faithful film to Wuthering Heights, the people who love Wuthering Heights would have been excited, but that would have been it. By making a trailer for the film that got people really riled up, she got her trailer, like, loads of people talking about it, more people than just period drama or Bronte fans. It's clever, and a lot of people fell into the trap. So, I mean, I probably did a little bit. I'm more of an Anne Bronte fan than an Emily Bronte fan, don't kill me. But Anne Bronte's my favourite writer, so I like Wuthering Heights. It's been a very long time since I've read it. I am going to reread it properly before the film comes out. But I know Wuthering Heights, I know the story, I know the characters. I don't have a burning passion for the book in the way that other people do. And so I can understand if you have an absolute burning desire for this book to be faithful and for adaptations to be faithful to the book, I can understand that this is going to irk you and irritate you. I didn't mind it too much in the first trailer. I don't mind it even less now. That's not it. I think this is going to be an interesting film. I think from the trailer what we can see is that Emerald Fennel is sticking more to the... Oh, gosh. Sorry about that. Emerald Fennel is sticking more to the plot of Wuthering Heights than we maybe initially thought from the first trailer. There are some very key lines in there that whatever his heart and mine is made of, they are the same. Oh God, I've just butchered that line. Whatever his soul and mine are made of, it is the same. That is the iconic line from Cathay, and I feel like they've put that in on purpose into the trailer. And that was a moment where I was like, oh, it's the line. And I'm hoping that that will go some way to reassuring a lot of really hardcore Wuthering Heights fans that there is an element of the original material there. I think, just as a first overview, and then we will watch it again and I'll stop and talk about it. I think as a first overview, I think that the production is obviously going to be more fantasy, whimsical. She's playing with set, she's making it. I mean, a lot of the shots look like they're supposed to be on a set. It's very theatrical, as if it was, you used to see this in adaptations of Shakespeare plays. There were film adaptations of the stage plays, but the way that the production was done, it was made to look like it was still on a stage. And I feel like that's a little bit of the production quality that Emerald Fennel has chosen. That's a design choice in terms of the staging, the costumes, and this, that, and the other. I think the story, the dialogue and that kind of thing will stay closer to the book than maybe we had originally thought it would. Now, I still haven't seen enough in this trailer about the about Heathcliff's character, really, and he says at one point something about, I'll be cruel to my servants, but he actually is cruel, is Heathcliff, in many ways, and I don't know to what extent we're going to get that cruelty in this film. Are we going to actually see him be a real dual character? In the book, you really are aware of the fact that he's not a good character, but then there is this kind of redeeming quality in him as well, and he's a really interesting character. It's why the book Wuthering Heights has been so universally loved for so many years, because Emily Bronte wrote these exceptional characters that are just pulled in many different ways and have so many different facets to their character. So I didn't quite see enough of that. I saw a little bit of him saying that, and then the way that he obviously disappears, and the way that they were talking about him, I saw a little snippet of it. I didn't see much. I do feel like that side is where we could potentially lose some of the really important narrative of Wuthering Heights. You know, the fact that Jacob Elordie is a white actor rather than having an actor of colour means that we'll lose something in Heathcliff's character to start with, and then to not have his kind of, what's the word I'm thinking of, like multi-layered character exposed, will lose something in the story. But again, we've only seen a teaser. This is the official trailer. I'm going to hold judgment on the film itself overall until I've actually seen the film itself, because I still think there's quite a lot that Emerald Fennel will be keeping in her back pocket to show at the film itself. She's not going to give everything away now, otherwise no one will go and see it. So let's get into the rewatch, and I will see what I think, and I'll stop if I see things that I want to talk about, and we'll have just maybe a little bit slightly more detailed look at the trailer. That's the milkmaid dress that I think I mentioned in the previous trailer reaction. I love the fabric, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful dress. It's just interesting. I'm not going to go into massive discussion over the costume and the set design other than overarching things, because I did actually talk quite a lot about it in the initial trailer reaction, because we weren't quite sure what the style of the film was in that initial reaction. So if you want to know more about that, then maybe go and watch that one. I'll just make a few passing gestures like this.
What should you do, Heathcliff?
That hair. That hair looks terrible. I mean, I'm assuming it's a wig. I don't think Jacob Elordie will have grown his hair this long. If it is his own hair, I sincerely apologise. It looks like a hairpiece. So you can kind of see the seam, I think, there. I think maybe I'm nitpicking. It's just not a great it's not great light, is it, for that? But
If you were rich.
That's interesting. Sorry, that triangular building. That is, it looks like a folly. So follies are little standing structures that a lot of country house owners put into their gardens and onto their estates. I've never seen this before. I don't know where it is. Other people will probably recognise it and know it. It's just interesting. I like the use of triangles in it. It's very It's very symbolic. These two actors look cute. They're children's actors. I love it. A lot of the time they cast unknown child actors into films like this, and I think it's great because we almost get to see a new generation of great actors coming up.
Suppose and do what all rich men do.
That was the first bit of Yorkshire when I was like, hey. I think, to be honest, I think the big problem with this with Jacob Elordie having this Yorkshire accent is I think a lot of people are going to struggle to understand what he's saying. Now, where obviously if you're from Yorkshire or you know somebody who speaks quite broad Yorkshire, you're going to be fine. But I think that is going to be a slight issue. But I kind of love it. It's in Yorkshire. Have someone speak proper broad Yorkshire and people can put subtitles on. That shot is so set-like, even like the backlighting in all the rooms. It's almost like these are little sets. You know how with Harry Potter and I think with some of the like Lord of the Rings stuff, they made like scale models and then filmed like the scale models? That's what it's making me think of, and I don't think that's what she's done. But this is almost like a little scale model of like a house, like a bit of a doll's house that is being filmed. That's what it's making me think of, and I don't think that is the case. I don't know, maybe it is. But yeah, it's interesting. It's all part of the...
I'll be cruel to my servants.
That was it. I'll be cruel to my servants. And the way she kind of laughs and looks away, I don't know. I want to see more of that cruelty. Maybe we'll get that in the film.
Take a wife.
Wife? What wife? This
is interesting. I'm really fascinated to find out what they're doing with this as a landscape. I'm going to have to do some research to find out where this is, because these buildings look They look existing, but then again, this is probably all CGI. CGI is brilliant now. If people pay for money putting into good CGI, it can look astounding. So this is probably all CGI. I don't believe I know of any ruins that look like that on such a windswept area, and I'm not sure what these structures are up on the top. It's probably a CGI landscape, but I'm looking forward to the sweeping more vistas, and I think this trailer makes us see that we're going to get more of the landscape in this film, which I'm really, really excited for. That shot was interesting. That made me think of like House of the Dragon, almost, with the kind of tall buildings, the dark walls. That's what that made me think of.
Yeah, not enough.
I mean, the costumes, the ageing of the costumes and the period accuracy of the costumes is, well, there's none. There's no period accuracy at all. But I kind of love how lush and rich they are. And I do love that Emerald Fennel is using costume as a statement. You know, again, it's kind of, these are the types of films that I can imagine students of film will study as they are doing degrees or this, that and the other, because there's so much decisions that have been made in terms of like symbolism in the costumes, in the set design, in that kind of thing. And I love this red colour. That was prominent throughout the last trailer as well.
Not for her.
That sky.
Excellent.
We don't actually get skies like that in Yorkshire. That is most definitely false sky. But I think it's meant to reflect that poster, isn't it? I mentioned it in my last trailer again. I can't remember. Is it Gone with the Wind? Is it Gone with the Wind? Casablanca? One of those films. I think that's the reference there.
Please marry him.
Now, did she have an underskirt on underneath that corset? No, she did not. She did not have undergarments on under her corset. I do like the fact, though, this is something that I talk about a lot in my period dramas. They are using natural light. There is no artificial light here in the room that we can see. Now, they've probably got bright white artificial lights outside this set room to make the outside look really bright so that you can see them contrasted against the window. I don't mind that because obviously you can't rely on the natural English weather and the lightness, but I like the fact that they are simulating natural light in this room and they've not got, you know, it's not just a well-lit scene.
Heathcliff is gone. You must accept it.
Now, I did notice with this shot here and with the shot of Heathcliff in the stables, Emerald Fennel's reused some shots from the original teaser trailer. And I think that's very clever as well. It kind of reiterates what she's put into the initial trailer without giving too much away again. So I did spot that. I spotted the reuse of the red again. It's very arty, isn't it? It's a very artistic film. I think that's the thing that I'm getting from this. Again, why I say that I think students will study it is it's an artistic interpretation of this book. And you can see that very clearly even just in the trailer. This is this triangular folly building again. Do you know what? They may have even built this for the film. I'm not entirely sure. Please, if you know anything about this and you know if it is existing, let me know. It's very phallic, isn't it? Very phallic symbol. But I love the shooting of it. Just turn the volume down a bit. Ah, look, doll's house. Doll's house. Oh, let me go. There, look, that is a doll's house. And we had the exact same room. Oh, look, there's the doll's house. There's a tiny little doll's house of the thing that I was saying earlier looked like a doll's house. So maybe that's what they have done. Maybe they have done a little tiny doll's house. Like that is, to me, that is a doll's house of this, which is a doll's house. And then is she stood in a bigger doll's house? Ooh, symbolism. Interesting. Oh, who is that actor? I recognise her face. I'm probably going to be very embarrassed when I don't know who she is. She was literally in Saltburn. She was Venetia in Saltburn. She was the sister, of course. Interesting. Emerald Fennel seems to like using the same actors over and over again. Obviously, Jacob Elordie and this actor were now both in Saltburn, and now they're in this together. Interesting. Seems that if Emerald Fennel likes you, then she is loyal to you, which I don't mind as long as there's a mix of other people in there as well. I don't think it should become like a boys' club or a woman's club in terms of actors always getting a role with one director because that director really loves you. I do think that there should be opportunities for new actors to come in and other actors to try things, but it does seem like that is the case here, because Margot Robbie's been brought in, but then again, I do kind of think Margot Robbie was cast because she was Barbie, and because don't get me wrong, I think she's a fantastic actor. I think she is phenomenal, and she was outstanding as Barbie. She was the perfect choice. This is not a critique of Margot Robbie as an actor at all. In fact, I wouldn't critique any of the actors themselves. I think they're all absolutely brilliant. There's a reason why they are acting in Hollywood and are well-known actors across the world. It's the casting choice, so it's more of the casting director Emerald Fennel's choice than the actors themselves that I have a problem with. There's a lot of yearning. There's a lot of yearning. Everybody's going to love that. I loved that moment. Where is the obstacle? And she's like, here. This is Margot Robbie to a T. These are the moments that Margot Robbie really proves what a phenomenal actor she is, because she's not afraid to ugly act. And I always say this, one of my favourite actors of all time is Florence Pugh, and I think the reason why I love her so much as an actor is because she's not afraid to ugly act. She really will just completely submit to a film. There are other actors out there. One of the most ones that comes to my mind is Megan Fox. Again, I'm not critiquing her acting skills, but I'm always a little bit thinking when I'm watching her on camera, is she making sure that the camera's got her best angle, if you know what I mean? Whereas somebody like Florence Pugh and Margot Robbie, I genuinely can't imagine that they even know there's a camera nearby. Same with actors like Kate Winslet. They just are able to fully commit in every single way to that character, no matter what they look like on screen. And we saw that with Margot Robbie playing the role of Elizabeth I in, oh gosh, I can't remember what that film's called. That film with Saoirse Ronan and Margot Robbie where they play, was it called Mary Queen of Scots actually? That film was absolutely phenomenal, and she was absolutely phenomenal in that. So again, this is classic Margot Robbie, and this is probably one of the reasons why she was cast as well, because she has the ability to do these really, really heartfelt, emotional scenes where you really need full commitment from an actor. I love that room. I love that room. I mentioned it a lot in the other trailer reaction. I'm not going to mention it here, but the hands everywhere. Oh, I can't wait to see that on the big screen.
Her soul's later.
I like that shot. This shot here with him under the bench, hiding, and then her comforting him. I think we are going to get a little bit more of his backstory about why he is the way he is, how their kind of classes are very separate, and how she is his comfort and how he takes from her. And I think we're going to get a lot more of that. I think this is probably the only snippet where we're seeing a little bit of that come through, but I am trusting that we're going to get that backstory, and so we are going to get a little bit more of the layers of Heathcliff's character. Hello? That where he grabs the front of her corset and pulls her in.
I will not stand without a fiend. I will not have you near.
Oh, look at those bottles. Oh, I love it when... I love it when trailers start to like flash more and more. It's kind of, I think for particularly in this example, it's showing the mania and the kind of madness, the way they're driven to that madness by each other. I think it's obviously mirroring and reflecting that, but I just love it from a trailer, and a trailer like this where it's trying to convey the passion and the obsession. I think it just works so well. Did you think it would stop me? It's a bit Fred Dibner, I can't lie. Oof. Now that's interesting that we get in and amongst all of the passion and the other stuff going on. This shot, that is obviously at an actual building. They've obviously shot on location here and made it into a bit of a set. So we are going to get more of the kind of political, social background to this book as well. I hope we're going to get quite a bit of it, so that it makes sense. We don't just get a lot of the sex and the sweeping looking looks, but this again restores a little bit of faith in the storyline and in the book itself. I did also kind of love the fact that in that shot, you've just got these three women, let me move that out of the way, just got these three women knitting, just casually knitting at the front, and something that looks a little bit like a horror baby's face. I think that's just pareidolia in something that's in that basket, but I just love the fact that there's just these three women knitting. The front.
Kiss me, and let us both be damned.
Kiss me and let us both be damned. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'll give that to him. Maybe I'm being too generous. I'll give him that. Let us both be damned. It's a bit... It almost went up to a Geordie kind of twang there, but I think, you know... Let's listen again.
Kiss me, and let us both be damned.
It's not bad. I'm going to give him that. And I didn't notice last time, maybe I was being a bit dumb, I didn't notice the quotation marks, so it's Wuthering Heights. So I think it's meant to be taken with a pinch of salt. I think that is what the intention there is. It's intended to get you talking about it. I really liked the Charlie XCX song in the first trailer. I've noticed that has kind of been doing the rounds a little bit on TikTok as well. People have been making TikTok trailers using the Charlie XCX trailer music for Wuthering Heights, and actually I saw an astounding edit of, I think, was it Pride and Prejudice? Oh, it was amazing. I'm not going to put it on the video, but go onto TikTok if you've got the platform and just put in Charlie XCX Pride and Prejudice edit or something like that. And honestly, the people are so creative. They've kind of created a Pride and Prejudice trailer based on the style of Wuthering Heights and with that original trailer music. Brilliant. I think in this one, the intention is that we are supposed to be, let me put it back to a shot that we've got something nice to look at. Let's have that. I think the intention with this is to bring the music maybe a little bit more to the background. So whereas in the first trailer, the music was like driving the intention of the trailer, I think with this one, I think the intention is that we are looking more at the content and that the music is just there at the back just to kind of be music to a trailer. It's not as important this time, I don't think, but I am really looking forward to seeing and hearing a little bit more of Charlie XCX's music and the general general soundtrack to the film itself. So that is Wuthering Heights. Let's I want to find a really fun that shot. I think that's my shot of the trailer. That shot of Margot Robbie on the floor. I think that's my favourite shot of the film, of the trailer so far. Overall thoughts. One, I definitely think we were all manipulated into the reactions that a lot of people had in the first trailer. I think that Emerald Fennel is allowing us to see a little bit more of her intentions this time. I do think that we see a little bit more of the book in this trailer, and so hopefully it will be more faithful to the book, but I think we also all need to just admit and understand that this is not going to be a completely faithful, period accurate adaptation. It is art. It is an artistic interpretation. There's so much layering and symbolism and literary references and things going on that it is meant to spark a conversation. But I hope for everybody who says, why couldn't she have just picked another book, or why couldn't she have just created her own film and this, that and the other. I do hope that we get some more of Wuthering Heights in this to show, because Emerald Fennel loves Wuthering Heights. It's one of her favourite books. She said that she read it as a teenager. It was one of the books that kind of awakened her as an adult, not as an adult, but as an emerging person to what passion was and what love was and that kind of thing. And so she's obviously very, very well versed in the book. And so I am hoping that we get a little bit more of that in this film when we finally come to see the film, so that it does at least, those people who have been really, really hating on it so far can understand a little bit more about Emerald Fennel's approach this time. So I'm still intrigued. I think I am slightly more intrigued by it now, having watched the official trailer. I was a bit like, this is a bit weird. I still don't want to go see it in the cinema. Unless I get invited to the premiere, which will obviously never happen. But like, I don't think I would see it in a cinema. Just because I would want to be able to be quite frank, I'd want to be able to pause it so that I can make notes. God, I'm such a nerd. But yeah, I will watch it at home as soon as I am able to, and I will do a reaction to the film. At this moment in time, as we stand on the 14th of November, I do not intend to go to the cinema to see it. I will watch it at home and then I can make notes. But please do go. That's not me telling you not to go to the cinema. Please do go and see it in the cinema if you can. I think it's really important that we have experimental filmmaking out there. I think it's really important that we don't allow Hollywood to just fall into making films for profit only, or making films only because they are a surefire success. We've seen that so much recently with films just being made because there's a ready audience, you know, remakes or franchise films. And I think that we need cinema like this, because this is why cinema was created. It is an art form. It is a way to spark discussion. It's a way to bring people together to discuss art and literature. And so please do support it at the cinema if you can. I might go see it at the cinema, because having said all of that to you now, I do truly believe that. I wouldn't say something that I didn't believe in. And I do believe in supporting this type of cinema, so maybe I will. Right, I'm going to get off my little soapbox and finish my coffee, which has gone a little bit cold now. What did you think of the trailer? I mean, I know you will tell me what you think, because I got loads of comments on my last trailer reaction. So I'm hoping I get the same kind of reaction on this one as well, because I love having chats with you all in the comments about stuff. And yeah, if you've got this far, put a triangle. I don't know if there's a triangle emoji. Put a triangle in the comments, and if there isn't a triangle, then pick an emoji that you like and pop it in the comments, and then that way I will know you've watched to the very end. I will know that you are the most committed, either Wuthering Heights fan, and therefore have watched all to the end because you love Wuthering Heights, or you like my channel and you've watched this to the end. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.